Just gonna warm up over here. Yeah, this is a little interesting. This is the first time recording inside this gym over here, so there's not a lot of space inside this gym compared to where they are in the other gyms, so I'm trying to find a spot to like respect other people's space, you know? I'm doing legs today. You know, I've been lifting really heavy the past couple of days, so I think today we're just gonna take things pretty easy, you know? I'm trying to do too much. I want to take this as an opportunity to like talk about Magic while I'm over here, you know? And today's topic, we're gonna be talking about how to get people into Magic the Gathering, you know? Getting people into the game for the first time. And I feel like after a couple of years, I've been on YouTube, learned a lot about how to get people into the game. And today we're just gonna be talking about stuff so that you can get your friends to play Magic the Gathering and maybe work out too someday. Here we go. Alright, we'll get started. Say go for 5 on each side.
Some man have no man still a try fi beg a thing. If you no drop no green, a straight up this thing. Son a bun traffic, it's a slow rhythm. JCF a move rough, them bust the M16. Some man a drive up and down, them a the latest thing. Machine fits in at them jeans.
I gotta set up the weight over here, it's gonna take me a second, but when we're talking about, you know, getting your friends into Magic the Gathering, you know, you gotta first understand, like, Magic is a pretty expensive hobby, man. So it's like, you know, you can go ahead, and a lot of people buy pre-cons to get in the game, which is why I do a lot of reviews on pre-cons on the channel and stuff like that, but I think, you know, even $40, you know, it's kind of a lot to expect somebody to pay on something they have no idea what it is about. So I think, like, tip number one, we're talking about getting people into the game. You gotta build your friend a deck. You know, the first commander deck I ever had, let me just measure this out properly. You know, the first commander deck that I ever had was a deck that somebody built for me. And, you know, I'll tell you, like, after I got that deck, it might have been at least 6 months to a year until I finally got my own deck. Actually, the first pre-con I ever bought was the Marin pre-con. I bought that in Puerto Rico, man. I got really lucky. Happened to just find that randomly over there in Puerto Rico. And, you know, ever since then, I've been building and buying commander decks. I think the pre-cons that came out after that were the Ur-Dragon and Edgar Markov, so it kind of made it a no-brainer for me to get the next pre-cons, honestly, because the pre-cons are that good. It's like, why not? Key number one, you gotta buy or build your friend a deck. You know, you gotta break the bank, build them a deck, but it's always gonna make things a lot easier. Okay, right now we're gonna be doing a deadlift. I like to keep this kind of light when I do this. I don't like to do deadlifts too heavy. I feel like it's it's not good for my back. And I've seen so many people get hurt doing this stuff that I like to keep it light, you know? This honorary song before we begin. We'll move on to something else. All right. And thing number two, when you build that deck, guys, you gotta make that deck easy to play, bro. Some people, you can't be building your friends a deck that's super complicated. It's super complicated. You're gonna make it difficult for them to play the game, and then it's difficult for them to play the game, they're not gonna play the game. So, you know, what I would recommend is building them a Voltron deck. You know, Voltron decks are very just straightforward. You're basically just attacking with one creature over and over again, and it makes the game a lot easier to play because it's just one thing that they have to do. It's not too complicated. They just attack. It's very straightforward. Look, we're gonna do a calf raise over here. So if you see this, what you're gonna notice is when we're doing the calf raise, we need our calves to stretch while we're doing this movement over here. So while I'm pressing, what you're gonna notice is that my toes are gonna curl underneath over here. So when I push my heel down into this direction over here in the bottom, I'm gonna feel a stretch over here in my calves. So after every rep, we have to make sure that we're getting this leg down to this position so we stretch the muscle. And then from that stretch position, then we press up. Your calves are muscles that they're constantly being worked because you're constantly walking and moving. So calves, for me at least, only really respond when you're doing a lot of weight for, you know, till failure. I'm not about to make you guys watch me do calf raises, you know, but a commander that I would recommend that would be good, I think would be Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. Costs 2 mana. You get to put him onto the battlefield basically like immediately when the game starts. And then he accrues counters as you play the game. And even when he dies or he gets exiled or something, he's gonna keep his counters. And he has haste, so he gets to attack right away. So if you're looking to get somebody in the game, I would just recommend build them a Skullbriar deck, dude. And it can be cheap too. The deck's gonna be good. Skullbriar is strong. A leg press machine right now. I'm short, so I have to bring the seat instead of being all the way up here like tall people. I gotta bring this thing all the way down. And tip number 3, you know, when you're playing the game, you gotta make sure that you're playing the game easy for them, man. Like just as simple, like when you're playing your first game, let's say you give them that Skullbriar deck, you gotta make sure that the deck that you're playing, you know, you should be playing the same type of deck. You know, you don't want the deck to be, you don't want to be too complicated, you know. You know, the more complicated it is, the more rules you have to introduce, the more confusing it's gonna become. So if your friend's playing Skullbriar, you're playing a Voltron, and then you play a deck that's a Voltron deck, then it makes the rules a lot more streamlined, and it's a lot easier for them to understand what's going on in the game because you're not constantly reintroducing new things that a lot of people can find confusing. Oh, second set. We got a jam over here, guys. I love this song. There it is. You know, when the weight starts to get up, you gotta use these handles over here to push your butt down to the seat to keep your butt from getting lifted. No diddy. No, another thing, you gotta make sure when you're playing, bro, that you guys are gonna let them win. You have to let them win at least the first 3, 4, 5 games, you know? If you're the person that's teaching somebody how to play the game, when you play in a larger group, let the other people be the people that beat your friend first. Never be the first one to beat your friend when you teach them how to play the game, dude. It feels bad. Oh, another thing, yo, you gotta make the deck like one color. 2 colors max. I know I talked about Skullbriar, these 2 colors, but if you can make a 1 color, monocolor deck, it just makes, just keeping them from being like beat for mana, you know, not having the right colors, because even that can be kind of confusing for some people. Yeah, in the end, we're talking about Magic the Gathering. It's a fantastic game, you know, and I think if anybody has the opportunity to teach their friends how to play the game, I think you should. It's an amazing experience. I think everybody should play the game. So if you have any questions or comments or any ideas that you think, you know, I should have added to this video, you can leave them in the comment section below so that everybody else can see them. Keep in mind, if you want to play games against me 1v1, you guys can join the Discord and you can challenge me over there. We do have a series where you can play, and it's a good time. Keep in mind, if you guys have any questions about lifting or magic or life, you can leave them in the comment section below. There's also a link to a form where you can leave an anonymous question if you have like a tough life coaching question. And during these episodes when I'm working out, I'll answer your questions. That way, you know, I can be your free life coach. You guys pay me in views and likes and subscribes. Sounds good to me. All right, peace out, people.